Have you ever found yourself wondering if you're surrounded by people who just don't seem to get it? Maybe you've noticed behaviors in certain women that leave you shaking your head, questioning their mindset, their decisions, or their way of looking at life. But here's the thing. Understanding these signs isn't just about pointing fingers. It's about protecting your own peace, avoiding unnecessary drama, and making better choices when it comes to relationships. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll have a clearer perspective that could change the way you approach your love life forever. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you're ready to unlock the wisdom of Stoic philosophy. And stick around until the end because what you'll learn today could just be the wake-up call you need. Let's get started. Sign number 1. She thrives on drama. Just pretend you've met someone in a completely unfamiliar social setting. Being in her company makes everything seem perfect. She's beautiful and fun. However, little things start to pile up, and you start to question her apparent intelligence. Also, intelligence is not what I am talking about. No, what we mean is the highly esteemed Stoic qualities of knowledge, self-awareness, and emotional intelligence. According to Seneca, a prominent Stoic writer, the greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today. This suggests that our present decisions, especially regarding the people we associate with, might dictate our future. What are the signs that a woman is being naive? Let's analyze each one separately. Have you ever had a relationship that sent you on a wild roller coaster of emotions? 1 minute, everything is fine, and suddenly, you're in the middle of a fight over a late text message. You start to wonder, why is it so challenging every time? If you hear someone enjoying causing trouble, you should be on the lookout. Some women, and let's be honest, some men, thrive on disorder and find ways to cause it even when there isn't any. It's as if they can't go about their daily lives without feeling some kind of emotional pain. But the point is, relationships aren't supposed to be a soap opera. An intelligent woman, on the other hand, seeks peace, not turmoil, because she knows that the true power lies in staying calm over trivial matters. Jump back to your own romantic experiences. Ever dated someone who couldn't stop finding fault? Maybe she'd get angry if you didn't respond to her text within 5 minutes. On the flip side, she'd accuse you of not caring enough and start fights if you went out with friends. At first, it hurts a little, but after a while it gets emotionally draining. Why does this happen? Because drama is a form of attention-seeking. For some women, if no one is talking, then something is wrong in their minds. They are used to chaos and now find peace unsettling. Before you know it, you're ensnared in a never-ending cycle of broken hearts and broken promises, deceiving yourself into believing that's love. But if you find yourself being consumed by her emotional tempests, it's wise to pause and ask yourself, is this really the life I want? As stated by Marcus Aurelius, a wise Stoic, the mind, not external circumstances, is within your control. You will find the power you need once you recognize this. A wise woman understands that love should be a haven, not a battlefield. If that person accuses you of wrongdoing when none exists, you may want to reconsider your connection with her. If you're thinking, wow, this sounds just like my last relationship, please know that you're not alone. Everyone has been there. The key is to recognize the pattern and break free before it drains your power. I want to know, have you ever been in a relationship where the drama was superfluous? Share your story with me below. Sign number 2. She can't take responsibility. Right now, let me paint a picture for you. You're in a relationship where everything is going smoothly, until it doesn't. It could be a small argument or something more serious, like a breakdown in communication. But instead of talking it out rationally, she jumps to conclusions and says, "It's not my fault. You ought to have been more wise." Have you heard this before? If that's the case, you know how frustrating it is to deal with someone who always avoids accountability. It's always someone else's fault, whether it's their parents, their ex, their employer, or even you. But the reality is this. If the other person can't take responsibility for their own actions, you and your relationship will never get anywhere. Let's be honest, we're all imperfect. Everyone makes mistakes. The ability to recognize mistakes, assess the current situation, and move forward is what distinguishes the intelligent from the foolish. According to Stoicism, understanding oneself is the source of true power. Epictetus once said, "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them." Rather than trying to avoid making errors, the secret to a fulfilled life is finding ways to deal with them. But for the naive woman, her victim mindset refuses to leave her side. No matter how bad things become, someone else is inevitably to blame. Staying around this type of person will lead to you being held responsible for things that were never your fault. Feeling exhausted yet? Think about your past relationships. Has someone close to you ever had trouble saying, "I was wrong"? How did you feel when that happened? Feeling down, unappreciated, not valued? That's because having an accountability partner is fundamental to every healthy relationship. A partner willing to grow alongside you is far more valuable than someone who is constantly looking for someone else to blame. Responsibility, on the other hand, is a strength, not a weakness. A strong woman owns up to her mistakes, says she's sorry, and works to improve. If you're looking for a life-altering event, discovering someone like that is it. You should exercise caution in a relationship where one person's lack of maturity manifests in their inability to take responsibility. Are you sure you want to be in a relationship where you're always the one carrying the emotional burden? Can you trust that the person you're spending time with will own up to their mistakes? If everyone you ask for an explanation always finds one, you may need to ask yourself, is this really a healthy relationship? Sign number 3. She lacks emotional maturity. Picture this. You're having a disagreement with her. Not even an argument, just a simple discussion where you have differing opinions. But instead of engaging in a mature conversation, she shuts down, gives you the silent treatment, or even lashes out emotionally. Ever been in that situation? A wise woman knows that emotions are natural, but should never control her actions. She understands that reacting impulsively in a moment of frustration only leads to regret. Seneca, a revered Stoic philosopher, once said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." This means that emotional struggles, if handled with wisdom, can help us grow. But a woman who lacks emotional maturity will allow these struggles to dictate her behavior instead of using them as opportunities to evolve. Emotional intelligence is the ability to regulate one's emotions and respond rather than react. However, if you find yourself constantly dealing with tantrums, passive-aggressive behavior, or an unwillingness to communicate, take it as a major red flag. A healthy relationship requires two individuals who can navigate difficulties together, not one person who shuts down the moment things get tough. Ask yourself, does she approach conflicts with grace, or does she explode over minor inconveniences? If it's the latter, you might want to reconsider investing your time and energy into someone who lacks the emotional depth needed for a stable relationship. Sign number 4. She values superficial qualities over depth. Let's talk about priorities. When you meet a woman, what does she focus on? Does she seem obsessed with social media validation? Is she more concerned with appearances, her own or yours, rather than building a meaningful connection? A Stoic man values depth over superficiality. He seeks wisdom, character, and virtue, not just physical attraction. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, once said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself and your way of thinking." A woman who chases status, wealth, or external validation will never be content because she's looking for fulfillment in the wrong places. True happiness comes from within, not from material possessions or social clout. If you notice she's overly fixated on luxury, social media approval, or how others perceive her, take a step back. A woman who prioritizes inner growth and depth will bring you peace, while one who chases superficiality will keep you in a constant state of dissatisfaction. Sign number 5. She disrespects your boundaries. Have you ever told someone that something made you uncomfortable, only for them to ignore it? Maybe you expressed a need for personal space, but she took it as an insult. A woman who lacks wisdom will test your boundaries, disregard your feelings, and make you feel guilty for standing up for yourself. But here's the truth. A strong man sets boundaries, and a strong woman respects them. Epictetus, another Stoic thinker, wisely stated, "No man is free who is not master of himself. Your peace, your time, and your mental well-being matter." A woman who constantly pushes your limits and disregards your values is not someone who will contribute to a fulfilling relationship. Instead, seek a woman who listens, understands, and respects your need for individuality. A healthy relationship thrives on mutual respect, not on one person dictating how the other should feel or act. Recognizing these signs isn't about blaming or judging. It's about self-awareness and making wise choices. The people we allow into our lives influence our peace, growth, and happiness. If you find yourself repeatedly encountering these red flags, take a step back and evaluate whether this is truly the relationship you want. Remember, a wise Stoic does not settle for less than he deserves. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced any of these signs in a relationship? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more insights into Stoic wisdom. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and keep mastering your emotions.